You know how every offseason there's always that one player who suddenly gets everybody talking? The kind of guy that wasn't getting a ton of attention at first, but the more you hear about him, the more curious you get about what he could bring to the team. Well, that's exactly what's happening right now. There's a really interesting story developing, and once you start looking at the details, it's easy to understand why so many fans are keeping a close eye on this situation heading into training camp. The road ahead won't be easy, but there's definitely a reason people are excited to see how this plays out over the next few months. Before we jump into all the details, do me a favor. Hit that like button if you're excited for football season, and drop "Here we go" down in the comments so I can see how many real Steelers fans are watching right now. What makes this story so fascinating is that the Pittsburgh Steelers may have quietly added one of the most unusual rookie prospects in their entire draft class, and the journey of Eli Heidenreich is already giving fans plenty to talk about. The seventh-round selection out of Navy arrives in Pittsburgh carrying a profile that is unlike almost anyone else on the roster. And now the challenge begins as he attempts to turn intriguing potential into a real opportunity at the NFL level. At first glance, the attention surrounding Heidenreich starts with something that has spread quickly among football fans: the athletic comparison to Christian McCaffrey. Testing numbers and physical traits have led many observers to notice similarities between the two players coming out of college. Standing at 6 feet tall and weighing around 202 pounds, Heidenreich possesses a strong athletic frame and the type of movement skills that immediately catch the eye. However, while the comparison has generated excitement, there is also a strong reminder that comparisons alone do not guarantee identical careers. The athletic profile may look similar in some respects, but Heidenreich still has to prove he can translate those traits into production at the professional level. What truly separates him from many young running backs entering the league is his background as a receiving weapon. During his time at Navy, Heidenreich spent significant time functioning as a receiver, developing skills that are rarely this advanced for someone now being viewed as a running back. That experience created a player who already understands route running at a level that can create immediate intrigue for an NFL coaching staff. Rather than relying solely on athleticism, he enters the league with technical receiving skills that could allow him to contribute in specialized situations. One of the most impressive elements of his game is his ability to separate from defenders. Reports from pre-draft evaluations highlighted how difficult he was for linebackers to cover in one-on-one situations. Instead of merely serving as a check-down option, he demonstrated the ability to run sharp routes and create meaningful separation. That ability could become an important asset because modern NFL offenses are constantly searching for ways to create mismatches, and Heidenreich's receiving background naturally presents that possibility. His hands are another reason for optimism. Throughout his college career, he displayed reliability when the football came his way. Not only was he capable of making routine catches, but he also showed the ability to secure difficult receptions in challenging situations. Whether working through traffic or competing for contested catches, he consistently demonstrated confidence and concentration. The fact that he recorded only 2 drops during his college career further reinforces the idea that catching the football is one of the strongest aspects of his game. That receiving talent opens the door to creative possibilities. Rather than being viewed strictly as a traditional running back, Heidenreich enters Pittsburgh as a player who could potentially move around the formation. His experience as a receiver allows for flexibility. He can line up in different locations, become a target in passing situations, and provide another option for offensive packages that require versatility. In an era where offensive coordinators value players capable of performing multiple roles, that versatility immediately becomes one of the biggest reasons fans are paying attention to his development. Another element that makes this story compelling is the personal side of the journey. Heidenreich is a Pittsburgh native, which adds an emotional layer to the situation. For any player, reaching the NFL is a dream. Doing so with the team connected to your hometown creates an even more meaningful opportunity. The moment of being selected by Pittsburgh represented a significant milestone, especially considering that he had also recently graduated from the Naval Academy. Those accomplishments help paint the picture of a player who arrives with strong character and a unique background. As exciting as the strengths may be, the reality is that the path ahead will not be easy. Transitioning from the role he played at Navy into a full NFL running back position presents several questions that still need answers. While he flashed receiving ability, he was not used as a traditional every-down running back in college. Because of that, there are still uncertainties regarding how his skills will translate when facing the responsibilities required at the professional level. Evaluators have pointed to several areas that will receive close scrutiny during training camp and preseason action. One of those concerns involves power and physicality. While Heidenreich possesses athletic traits, he has not consistently shown the type of power profile associated with running backs who handle large workloads. That distinction becomes important because NFL defenders close space quickly, and physical running is often necessary to earn additional opportunities. Questions have also emerged regarding vision as a runner. Since his college usage often involved specialized concepts rather than a traditional NFL rushing attack, projecting how he will process running lanes at the next level remains difficult. Vision is one of the most critical traits for a running back, and it is something that can only be fully evaluated once he begins receiving opportunities in professional game situations. There are additional concerns involving contact balance and pass protection. Those two areas often determine whether a player can earn meaningful snaps, especially on passing downs. Coaches place enormous value on trust, and running backs, who cannot consistently protect the quarterback, often struggle to secure larger offensive roles. Because of that, every preseason snap could become extremely important for Heidenreich, as he attempts to prove that he can handle responsibilities beyond simply catching passes. What makes the situation even more intriguing is that roster competition appears intense. Heidenreich enters a depth chart where opportunities may be limited, meaning he must find ways to stand out. His versatility could become his biggest advantage. If he can demonstrate value as a receiver, a hybrid offensive weapon, a special teams contributor, or even multiple roles simultaneously, his chances of carving out a place on the roster become significantly stronger. For now, the story is less about what Eli Heidenreich already is, and more about what he might become. The athletic traits are there, the receiving skills are there, the hometown connection is there, the determination appears to be there as well. But the next phase of his journey will determine whether those promising qualities are enough to earn a permanent place with the Steelers when the regular season arrives. With training camp and preseason approaching, all eyes will be on whether this unique Navy graduate can transform potential into production and force his way into the Steelers' plans. Do you believe Eli Heidenreich will make the final 53-man roster and carve out a real role in Pittsburgh? The biggest factor working in Heidenreich's favor may ultimately be something that cannot be measured by a stopwatch, a vertical jump, or even a scouting report. It is his versatility. Throughout the evaluation process, the most consistent theme surrounding his game has been the ability to do multiple things on the football field. While some prospects enter the NFL with a clearly defined role, Heidenreich arrives with the opportunity to create one for himself. That could end up being critical because the competition for roster spots is expected to be fierce. The reality is that simply being a talented athlete is not enough. Every summer, NFL teams bring dozens of promising players into training camp, and many of them never make it to week 1. The players who survive are usually the ones who provide value in multiple areas, and that is exactly where Heidenreich has a chance to separate himself. If he proves capable of contributing as a receiving back, lining up in different spots on offense, helping on special teams, and handling assignments that other players cannot, his path becomes much more realistic. Coaches love players who expand their options on game day. Every roster spot is valuable, and versatility often becomes the deciding factor when difficult cuts have to be made. What makes this battle especially interesting is that Heidenreich does not need to become a star overnight. His first objective is much simpler. He needs to show that he belongs. Every practice rep, every preseason touch, every special teams snap will be another opportunity to convince the coaching staff that he deserves a place on the roster. For a seventh-round pick, that process is never easy, but it is far from impossible. There is also the undeniable hometown storyline that will keep fans invested throughout the summer. Pittsburgh supporters always rally behind players who have a connection to the city, and Heidenreich's journey from local prospect to Steelers rookie naturally creates excitement. Fans will be watching closely to see whether he can turn that opportunity into something bigger. The coming weeks may ultimately determine everything. If he can answer questions about his vision as a runner, demonstrate improvement as a pass protector, and continue showcasing the receiving ability that made him such an intriguing prospect in the first place, he could force his way into the conversation. If not, the uphill climb becomes even steeper. Either way, he enters camp as one of the most fascinating developmental players on the roster, and one of the rookies worth monitoring every single day. The story is far from finished. In many ways, it is only beginning. The talent is intriguing, the opportunity is there, and now it comes down to whether Eli Heidenreich can make the most of it when the lights come on and the competition gets real. What do you think, Steelers Nation? Can Eli Heidenreich overcome the odds and earn a spot on the final roster, or will the competition be too tough for the rookie to crack the team? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this report, make sure to subscribe, leave a like on the video, and turn on notifications so you never miss any Steelers updates. And when you're done, click on the video appearing on your screen right now for more Steelers coverage. The latest news, analysis, and updates are waiting for you there, and you'll always find them first right here.